Nightreign is a game of camaraderie, where you and your two best comrades take on the unforgiving and dreary world of a FromSoft game. Bosses are designed to be fought with 3 people. The first boss splits into 3 separate bosses. The insect boss places parasites on you that can only be hit off by a teammate, and the beast creates seals that must be destroyed too quickly for any one person to succeed. Similar experiences happen with all other bosses. Yet, there's a single player mode? The game is not designed for one person to play, and that is why I'm doing it. I have never been one to turn down an unfair challenge. And this is the story of my furthest single-player run in Eldenring Nightreign. There's a few things you need to beat a run in Nightreign: flasks, levels, weapons, and stats. Flasks are your source of healing. You need quick and accessible healing if you want any hope of winning. Luckily, my spawn is literally on top of a church that contains a flask. Yoink! For some reason, the devs added a buff that makes flasks heal slower? Outside of some niche applications, this is horrible and should never be chosen. Time management is very important. Killing bosses quickly to get levels and resources is vital. Below some cathedrals is a boss, and you can always tell what kind based on the enemies above the church. These are ghosts, so the Mausoleum Knight is below. This guy gets staggered very easily, and my character is a poise-breaking machine, so he dies. This provides me runes for my first level. Levels are self-explanatory. They give the most consistent boosts to stats in the game. Although after level 12 the levels don't do a whole lot, so spending runes on the shops can be more useful at this point. Part of roguelike games is playing them and learning what is possible. Normally I would never stop for a great boss enemy on day 1. Should be a boss right around here that I don't want to fight. Never mind, there's a boss around here I do want to fight. But this is the demi-human queen. Her most dangerous aspect is the minions around her, and I have an AoE ultimate primed and ready. So, it's a 1v1. And she falls rather quickly to my massive hammer. See? Easy fight. I get a lightning hammer that inflicts scarlet rot. This is a very good item for night 1. Weapon variety is important because the bosses are all weak to different stuff. The final boss's weakness is the most useful weapon type in any run and should be sought after and coveted. In my case, that is holy damage, but lightning and scarlet rot are 2 very useful damage types. I'll still need a holy damage weapon for the final boss, but this is great for now. I run into the storm as the circle closes in on me with the hopes of grabbing another flask. And then I decide to check out the castle. See, this castle is always here, and it always has good drops. Plus lots of things to kill. Luckily, I get the easiest version of the castle and only have to deal with banished knights. These guys are free rune farms. After slaughtering all of them, and their pet, I get more stamina, which is nice. Mini bosses give the option of flat increases to stats, and almost all of these are more useful than the weapons they offer. Weapons and shields can also provide passive stat bonuses, so carrying 6 is always better than carrying 1 or 2. You can exchange them later if you like, so there's no harm, no foul. The storm circle begins to close for night 1, but I have time for one quick stop. I kill this abductor virgin, and it drops a sacred hammer. This is not the best option for holy damage, but it can work in a pinch. The night ends with the bell-bearing hunter. This guy is awful. His sword can fly, and he is weak to literally nothing. All damage is partially negated by him. The best options, luckily, are lightning and scarlet rot, which just so happens to be what my hammer does. This is an unfortunately close fight because his attack pattern is just so annoying, but in the end, every fight will end with a stagger, and he is no different. Day 2 begins with me directly beside the last church with a flask, so I grab that and then decide to go hunt great enemies. These enemies are going to be my best chance of success. They provide decent weapons and better stat increases. Since there are no areas that specifically drop holy weapons, these are my only chances at a rare holy item. The first one I find is the Tree Sentinel. This could be a hard boss, but unfortunately for him, I have fought the first Tree Sentinel in Eldenring with nothing but the starting gear, because I thought it would be funny. So, while it's been a year, I can still handle him very well. Most of his scary attacks have huge windups, and I have a large health pool, so we stagger him like all the rest, and eat his health like it's Korean barbecue. It's because I'm the one cooking, not him. He drops a rapier that gives passive HP regen, which I'll never complain about. There's an elder lion nearby. He just isn't up to par with my current stats, and I absolutely destroy his health bar. He drops improved stance breaking, as if I didn't need more. I grab it like the greedy child I am and move on. I can handle basically any boss thrown my way at this point, so long as it's not the Deathrite bird. I don't know why, but that thing is the bane of my existence. The next boss I kill is the Royal Carrion Knight. It does kill me once, but the run back is simple enough, and it drops the worst upgrade possible. I know not to grab this. It's not good, but the storm is beginning to get me, and I panic. Unfortunately, there's no way to get rid of this, so the rest of the run is burdened by my foolishness. I summon this Evergoal prisoner for some quick runes, and for some reason I chose runes as a reward rather than more damage. I don't know why. My current holy weapon is only uncommon, and I want it to be rare. Inside these mines, there's always one enemy that drops a tier 2 smithing stone. To be safe, I go grab it in case I don't get a rare holy weapon before the final boss. You okay there, bud? Putting him out of his misery is simple enough, and I grab the stone. And then I run into him. Please don't be the Deathrite bird. Pretty please? Would be actually fantastic. Okay. That's the Deathrite bird. I was gonna get one more boss, but this is not the one to grab. And that leaves me with no time but to fight the final boss of the night. These guys mean it's going to be the Fell Omen, because these guys always lead to the Fell Omen. Lucky for me, the Fell Omen is weak to holy damage, and that just so happens to be the best kind of damage that I deal. Every hit chunks his health as if I was running bleed, but all it takes is one stagger, two staggers, three staggers, and just like that, he's done for. See, in single player, you get one free resurrection in case you go down. The final shopkeep can also sell revives to help in the same scenario. I buy one of these, which means I have 2 lives just in case. The final boss is with the 3-headed dog, and the fight goes as well as most could hope. I take hits well, and the boss takes decent damage whenever I hit him. When he splits into 3, the holy damage is helpful for staggering the wolves a bit so that they don't rush you all at the same time. Unfortunately, I go down, which means I can go down only one more time, but that doesn't stop me. I retaliate with probably the most disgusting stagger of my life, chunking the boss for 1000 damage. Because this is not just the story of my furthest run in Eldenring. This is a story of how I beat Nightreign by myself. The dog splits up after the stagger in hopes of stopping me. He bites and runs like a coward that already knows his fate, but little did he know that splitting into 3 would be what marks his doom. See, my ultimate does 2 things. It staggers, and it does AoE. When there is 1 dog, I can only hit 1 target. But when there are 3 dogs, I get to hit 3, tripling my damage and finishing the run. Aura. This is the Eldenring Nightreign solo experience. Subscribe for more.